push their team to victory. Tannehill's Dolphins going up against Foles' Eagles.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Ryan Tannehill and the visiting Miami Dolphins. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. First carry for Kenyon Drake. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground with Drake, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. He goes underneath the Drake, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. They snap it to Tannehill. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. Midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. On play action, Wentz out to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22. They go play action here on 1st down. Flush to his right.
And some space here. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Clock running under a minute to go in a scoreless first quarter. Now it's the Boise State alum, jaycazzz. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Ajayi. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Cameron Wake in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along, or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Miami's offense getting ready to come back out onto the field. Take a step back, Charles. You look at the Dolphins in 2017. Look, they were 10-6 in 2016. Many people thought, wow, here we go. 2017 high hopes. They limped to a 6-10 finish, however.
Yeah, and you use the word limped, and it started with the injury to Ryan Tannehill. His knee in preseason, in camp. And then they decided to bring in Jay Cutler. That didn't work the way they expected to work at the quarterback position. Jaycazzz was a Pro Bowl, well over 1,000-yard runner the year before. The chemistry wasn't right. He gets traded to Philadelphia midseason. And Jarvis Landry, over 100 catches this year, but yards per catch, well below 10 yards. So when you add it all together, not what they expected on the offensive side of the ball.
On first down, Drake. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. On second down, it's Drake. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
They'll set up the screen to Drake. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. They find some open field here. Past the 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but third MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999 where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe. But
he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. He'll have a first down past the 40. It's complete to Parker, left side. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now on 1st down, Drake again. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. On 1st and 10, Tannehill.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
In the red zone this time. From the red zone now, Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And he checks this one down to Williams. Williams loses the football. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Wentz to throw. And Ndamukong Suh in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, every now and then you just absolutely outguess yourself. 3rd and inches, and they decide not to run the ball. You end up seeing the end result.
The end result was not good. They elect to pass, and it backfires. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They do go for it. It's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. It'll be a gain of 9, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he's got some space here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. They run with Ajayi. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Wentz, flushed out right. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Right back to Drake. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Tannehill. Now they go screen. It's complete. And some room to work. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenyon Drake, 57 yards. And the Dolphins are in for 6. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
He'll buy some time right. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know, in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz, eluding the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Ndamukong Suh in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing now is Wentz. Smith catches left side. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Throwing now, Tannehill. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. 2nd down and 4. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now it's Tannehill. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now Tannehill. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Now it's Tannehill. A bullet throw, but incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Tannehill. And that is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
They dump off underneath to Ajayi. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's going to let it fly. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar in the final minute, and the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Drake. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Back to throw. He dumps it off to Drake. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
third and short. Drake. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Well, going into the final play in this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still